Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti. I am MrPhotographer.com. Yesterday, I received an email from someone asking me if it was possible to change the color of a person's eyes in Lightroom. And the short answer is yes, it is. You could change the color of a person's eyes using Lightroom. The little more detailed answer is you'll find that for some people in their eyes, when you change the color of them, it's going to look great. It's going to look natural. And nobody is going to tell that you changed the color of that person's eyes in that photo. On the other hand, for some other people in their eyes, it just won't look right. And there's nothing you could do to make it look right. It's going to look fake. It's going to look like paint. It's just not going to look right. So the correct answer is yes, you can change the color of a person's eyes in Lightroom, but results may vary. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's actually very, very easy to do. We're going to start out with this image here, and I should lose my Lightroom license for changing the color of this person's eyes because, as you can see, her eyes are beautiful and quite compelling. But we're going to do it nonetheless. It's a two-step process. We're going to open up the brush for step one. We're going to reset the brush by double-clicking on the word effect, so all the sliders are zeroed out. What we're going to do is we're going to take saturation all the way down. So step one is we take all the color out of the existing eyes. And for brush attributes, I have feather, flow, and density at 100, and auto mask is off. Make sure auto mask is off, that's important. And we'll come in and we're just gonna paint all the color out of her beautiful, beautiful eyes. All right, so we're gonna give her gray eyes. Come over here and do the other eye. I'm gonna do this very quickly. Right, so hopefully I got all the color out. All right, she has now gray eyes. Step two is we get another brush. So we're going to click on New, and then we'll double click on the word Effect to reset the slider there. Then what we do is we need to pick a color. We'll go to the color section of this brush panel, click on the little rectangle, and it opens up the color picker. Now we need to pick a color. Let's give her blue eyes. So we'll go over here and, I don't know, maybe around 203 degrees of hue and 46% saturation. Let's try that. And we'll close the color picker down. Now we'll just paint this color on her eyes. And I'll start with the other eye. We'll go in here and paint this color in. Go to her other eye and paint the color in. So now she has blue eyes. Now we could mess around with some of the sliders and change the look of the blue. Like I could make them a little brighter with the exposure slider. I could add a little more texture to them maybe, even though I don't think her eyes really need it. I could go back to the color picker, and if I'm not happy with the hue, I could pick a different color. Or the saturation, I could just move the saturation slider and change the saturation of her eyes if I wanted to, but I think that looks all right. So, we changed the color of her eyes. Like I said, I probably shouldn't have done it on this image because her eyes didn't need to have any color change, but that's how you do it. Now I want to show you one more example with a little twist to it. So we're going to go to this image. What we're going to do now is double click on the word effect to reset all the sliders. We're going to go to saturation, and step one is, again, we take the color out of the eye. So we're going to paint in a black and white eye as best as we can. Here, 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 here. All right. So we took all the color out of his eye. I think I'll make it just a touch brighter at this point. All right, now we're going to get that second brush. So we're going to click New, right? We'll double click on the word Effect to reset everything. Now, as for the color, what I want to do is I want to borrow the color from her original eye. So I'm going to click Reset, and I want to borrow this color and put it in his eyes. Now to do that, we're again going to go to the color picker and click on that little rectangle. Now you remember when we're over the color picker, the eyedropper tool is open, but as soon as I go over her eye, or her face, the color picker eyedropper disappears. To keep it active, click inside of the color swatch here with your left mouse button. Hold in the left mouse button, then go over her face, and you can see the color picker is still active. So now I could go over an eye, and I could pick a color like 21 degrees, 61%. So that's the color of whatever I was hovering over in her eye. Now we'll go back to our other image, and you can see that color is there. Now I could paint that color in on his eye best I can. All right, let's get it in there. All right, it doesn't look that great yet, right? But we could play with some attributes. We could take exposure down, let's say, or whatever, but let's leave it at 0. All right, what you could do now is to increase the intensity of this paint I just did, is go right over the button on his eye, right click, and click on duplicate. And it will duplicate it so that we have like twice the paint on his eye now that I just did with the paintbrush tool or the brush tool. So you could see how I transferred that color to his eye, and then I could pull texture up, mess around with clarity a little bit. What you'll find is saturation doesn't do what you expect it to do. As you move saturation to the right, it starts to pull some of the original color out of the eye. So saturation isn't going to help here. That's why it's better to just duplicate it by right-clicking on the button and going on duplicate. Sometimes you might want to do it, more than once, or more, duplicate it 2 more times or whatever. So we could do it again. I think it'll be a little too much. Yeah, it's probably a little too much. But you get the idea now. Is you could come in and change the color of anyone's eyes very easily in Lightroom. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.